Welcome back to the Workforce Update. Let's get right into it. There was a recent industry report on Industry Today saying that the VMS market is expected to continue to grow through 2031, which is great news for people like me. But the real story isn't about software necessarily, it's about how the workforce itself is changing. Let me connect the dots for you in simple terms. The first big shift is that companies aren't just hiring temps when they're short staffed anymore. They're planning for a mix of full time employees, contractors, and freelancers all working together. This is often referred to as a total talent approach, and it simply means managing all workers under one strategy instead of separating them. So, why does that matter? Well, because when the market is unstable and skills are hard to find, flexibility tends to win. Companies that can quickly scale up or down faster than their competitors are always going to come out on top. That's one of the major reasons why the VMS platforms are growing. The second big shift is everyone's two favorite letters, AI. AI is now built into hiring and workforce systems, as many people expected. I don't mean just robots replacing people, but I do mean smarter software. In today's world, companies are using AI to screen candidates faster, compare skills, predict hiring needs, and track workforce data. And this, in turn, speeds up the hiring process. It also helps leaders see patterns they would normally miss by doing things more manually. The third shift, and this has been the case for the last couple of years, is that skills matter more than degrees. More companies are hiring based on what someone can actually do, not just what their diploma says. And that actually opens up bigger talent pools. It also helps companies move internal employees into new roles more easily. When you combine that with contingent labor, you start planning workforce capability instead of just filling job openings, and that's a big mindset shift. Fourth shift is that flexibility is now a competitive advantage. Remote work, hybrid schedules, flexible assignments, candidates expect it. If companies refuse flexibility, then they often pay more to attract that particular talent. And what smart companies are doing are designing workforce models that balance both flexibility and performance. Shift number five comes from, and I'm saying shift number five because I can't pronounce fifth shift. Compliance is getting more complex. New regulations are emerging around AI in hiring, pay transparency, worker classification, contractor versus employee rules, and misclassifying workers can be very expensive for companies. Managing multiple staffing agencies across states or countries adds even more complexity, and this is where that visibility becomes very critical. You can't manage risk if you can't see what's happening. Why is the VMS market projected to expand through 2031? Because all five of these trends are creating pressure. More flexible workers, more AI tools, more skill based hiring, more demand for flexibility. Now, let's tie this back to the VMS growth market report I shared earlier. And that also includes contingent workers too, because experience matters not just for full time employees, but for every worker representing your brand. When workforce strategy gets more complicated, companies need better systems. And that's where a VMS platform comes in. They help companies manage workers, suppliers, the rates, compliance, reporting all in one place. And here's the executive level takeaway that's a little bit more simplified. Workforce of the future is more flexible, data driven, skills focused, and regulated. If your company still manages contingent labor through spreadsheets and emails, you're going to feel this pressure because your competitors are modernizing it, and not just to save money, but to move faster. I'm Patrick, and that's your workforce market update. The VMS market is growing because workforce complexity is growing, and complexity requires structure. If you want these updates weekly, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.